Scarborough community, I'm Julie Kuchenberger, the superintendent here in Scarborough. We're so excited to launch our first episode of Inside Scarborough Public Schools here at Pleasant Hill. Today, we'll talk to the new principal, Barbara Hawthorne, and we'll also check in with some of the teachers and students to find out how's the school year going here in Pleasant Hill. So come on in and join us. It's an exciting morning at Pleasant Hill School. I'm sitting here with our new Pleasant Hill principal, Barbara Hawthorne, new to Pleasant Hill, but not new to Scarborough. Barbara was formerly at the middle school and this year had a little job change coming down here to Pleasant Hill. So her title is officially the principal of Pleasant Hill and also the improvement strategist. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it means to be the principal at Pleasant Hill and also what your improvement strategist role looks like?
All right, so first I do want to say that I loved my role at the middle school. The students were fabulous to work with and the teachers are excellent, so I enjoyed my time there. But now I am enjoying going back to my roots, and this is where I started my career with the littles. My role here is this is what I tell my students, to make sure that their days are safe and happy and that they learn lots. So I say that a lot to them. I'm in their classrooms, I visit with teachers, I support parents as they learn how their students are learning at this level. So my job is very exciting and every day is different and I absolutely love it. My improvement strategist position is another role that I really wanted to get involved in because I love being a change agent, and I love using data to ensure that we keep our eye on the ball as we make changes in the district.
Excellent. So the idea behind the improvement strategist role is that initially our goal was for you to be supporting some of the data development and use of data or student learning evidence to drive our improvement cycles. And given this budget cycle, we had to make some adjustments to that plan. So now it's you and Kathy Terrell who is her office is at the middle school, but you're really supporting the whole district as we do that work. But as I've said to you many times, primary role number one is really building the relationships here at Pleasant Hill. Can you talk a little bit about how the school year started and how you're finding this position?
So how did it start? So it started by spending a lot of time with my teachers, getting to know them. It started by meeting my students off the bus, getting to know the parents as they bring students and pick them up at the end of the day. I go into every classroom and I spend time conducting circles with the students, getting to know them and what they like about school and what they do at home that they want to share. And they get to ask me questions and get to know me. We had our first community meeting this month where we were all in the gym and we had some fun together, talking about expected behaviors, but just having fun as a school. So those are some of the ways that I have started the year.
So two things you mentioned, circles and community meetings. Can you describe for the folks at home watching what those two things are and why they're an important part of the programming here?
So a community meeting is like an assembly, and it's important to build a community here with all of the students, so they get to know each other, they get to know us as staff, and we get to learn and grow together and have fun together, and that is a way to do that. It's so important. We're going to be doing those monthly. The teachers are very excited to also be a part of this community and have fabulous input as to the things that we can be doing the rest of the year. The circles are conducted every day in every classroom. They do it in the morning to do calendar math and learn new skills about how to conduct themselves as students. So my coming in and conducting my own circles, the students are very used to it, but it's my way to get to know them and for them to get to know me. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so as the principal, you're getting into the classroom and you're actually leading these circles. And what I'm hearing is that's an opportunity for us to really hone in on some of those social emotional skills that we know are so important, and the self-regulation, all things that we know lead to healthy outcomes for kids, not only here at Pleasant Hill, but in their career as students and beyond as they become young adults.
That's right. Thank you, Julie.
So can we take a walk and maybe get into some of the classrooms and talk with some of the students and teachers?
Absolutely. Let's start with kindergarten.
Okay.
If I put the green dot on this side, what do you think that means? Kind of like stuff in our room. You don't have to. There's a clue over there. What? Scarlett, can you say it louder? Go. So does that mean you're still working on your writing on that side, if it's on the green dot side? Yeah. What if it's on the red dot side? What? Stop. Does that mean you're done? And if you
There's a
say,
name on the front. Name on the front, date here, if you'd like to write the date. All right, and then we'll start together with a pencil. After we're all done, we'll do crayon coloring, okay? Who is my paper passer?
What's that? You're right, perfect. All right, now switch your brain. We're looking for two. What do you see? Two out in the box. I love it.
We're here in a second grade classroom with some of our amazing teachers from Pleasant Hill, and we want to talk a little bit about what's new and different here at Pleasant Hill this year, and we'll start specifically with thinking about the leadership structure and K-2 across the district, but then specifically here at Pleasant Hill. And Mrs. Roberts, if you would, as the building lead, get us started.
great. Over the years, things have changed. We started with a full-time principal at each building. We had a lead teacher, a building lead, who took on a lot of responsibility as far as learning new pilot programs, things like being in charge when the principal is out of the building, kind of the administrative designee. At one point, way back, we had one principal with lead teachers at each building. So over time, that changed. As times have changed, we put in a principal at each building, which worked well. And last year, we had a principal sharing two buildings, the last 3 years, right? And the building leads took on a lot of responsibility. And then to kind of take some things off of our plate, we incorporated learning leads to help us out with some of that.
So what I'm hearing you say is that for the past few years, we've been sharing two principals for 3 buildings, and they're not exactly all next to each other on the same campus, right? They're kind of in all these different neighborhoods within our community. And so now we have this leadership structure. This is the first year back having your own principal. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That's exciting news. But you also have these layers of leadership. So formally, you're the building lead. You're the learning lead for second grade. For the whole school. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, the classroom teacher is also a leader, right? So share a little bit with us about what are you noticing now that you have your own principal back in your building? And I'd like to kind of hear each of your voices and, how's the transition going and what are the positives and maybe are there challenges to having your own principal now?
Thank you. Transition to having a full-time principal is wonderful. It is the person who is in a building all the time, greets the children in the morning, and not only that, but children are developing the relationship. That is, we are early in a year, and they already know our new principal's name, and she's very present in our classrooms. The students greet her in the hallway, and when we, as colleagues, need support, we always find a listening ear that we can go to, so we can, create that relationship with administrator who is always present. So it is very, very good.
I too think having her be very visible every morning, greeting the families, staff. She makes sure that she checks in on the staff every morning, even if it's to say hello, how's it going? You kind of get to lay eyes on her. She walks the kids out to the bus every afternoon. that was missing before, that visibility piece. And I really think it's made a really positive start to our year and with our families.
One great thing about having an administrator here all the time is those connections, like you guys mentioned. She's been in all of our classrooms. She has learned all the kids' names, and she's made personal connections with them. The other thing that really stands out is our school feels more of a community. We're pulling together and having a lot more opportunities for community meetings, which involves all the kids and teachers. And the kids just know her very well at this point, and there's a nice feel of community already in the school year.
So I know in K2, we always know how many days of school we've had so far. So what number day are we on now?
Number 15.
Number 15. So 15 days in, and you're telling me that Principal Hawthorne already knows most of the children's names, or all of the children's names?
And she told us that's her goal to learn. First day, she said, that's my goal to learn. So that students took it so seriously that my classroom personally made her poster the third day of school and brought her with all the names. Said, we are helping you to learn the names. So even that little connection she made right there on a day one was very welcoming and positive, and they took it right, word by word.
Well, I have to say, the energy is so positive here at Pleasant Hill. I can only see smiles from ear to ear in each and every classroom that we've been in. So thank you all for your leadership in the classroom and also recognizing the work that your new principal is doing here at Pleasant Hill.
Thank you very much.
The town we live in is in Maine, and Scarborough is its name. Oh, S-C-A-R-B-O-R-O-U-G. Spell Scarborough, and Scarborough is its name. Oh, Pleasant Hill School is where we learn. In Scarborough, that's our town. Oh, S-C-A-R-B-O-R-O-U-G. Spell Scarborough, and Scarborough is its name. Oh, the fire department fights the fires. In Scarborough, that's our town. Oh, S-C-A-R-B-O-R-O-U-G-H. Spell Scarborough, and Scarborough is its name. Oh, the high school hill is where we slide. In Scarborough, that's our town. Oh, S-C-A-R-B-O-R-O-U-G-H. Spell Scarborough, and Scarborough is its name. Oh.
We're here in the lunchroom at Pleasant Hill with Maria and Sloan, kindergartners in Mrs. Roberts' class. And I just have a few questions for you ladies about Pleasant Hill. How's it going?
Good.
What's good about Pleasant Hill School this year?
Let's see. Recess.
Recess. Okay, Sloan, what are you loving about Pleasant Hill this year?
Choice time in school.
Choice time, what does that mean?
You can play inside your school, inside your classroom.
And you get to have choice of like what center you go to? So I was just in a kindergarten classroom. It was in your kindergarten classroom, and I saw you getting some folders set up. What is that for?
So we use them for our stuff because we're in reading and writing workshop, and they help us with it.
So the folders are going to help you keep your writing organized in writing workshop? What else have you learned about reading or writing workshop in kindergarten so far?
See. I don't really know. Me neither.
Oh, there's still a lot to learn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only 15 days in. The school year's just getting started. Is there anything you want the viewers at home to know about Pleasant Hill School that we haven't talked about yet?
Let's see. I don't know either. Recess is the famous time of all because you get 2 recesses.
You get 2 recesses at Pleasant Hill School. Well, that's really important to keeping your body healthy, right? Okay, well, make a great school year. I'll look forward to seeing you in reading and writing workshop. Thank you for watching this episode of Inside Scarborough Public Schools. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Pleasant Hill School as much as I did. Remember, the purpose of this show is to break down the 4 walls of our schools and invite the community in so that you can see all the amazing things our students and teachers are doing each and every day. I hope you look forward to watching our next episode of Inside Scarborough Public Schools. I'm Julie Kuchenberger, your superintendent.